recording. Awesome. So hi everyone. Welcome once again to Get a Job 1.0. This is the introduction. So I've quite spoken to a lot of people. A background about me. One of the top coaches in Africa, featured in various medias like United Nations, In the Punch, and many other media across Vanguard, and The Guardian. So that being said, I've worked with the different job seekers for the period of 2 years now, and then helping them kickstart and launch their career. And myself, I've moved from no job to multiple jobs, multiple offers in different companies and different industries. And I will share my story. When starting my career, even as an intern, I had no connection in the industry. So this program will be very thorough. As I said, you'll be committing 20 hours plus per week. 20 hours plus per week to this program for the space of 3 months. So I had no connection in the industry. So I had to build my network, my connection from scratch. And today I have network across various continents and various companies, name it Fang, the engineering lead, the VP of engineering, and lots more. And I will look at, in the course of this program, I'll be inviting 1 or 2 speakers to talk to you about their career and then how they are doing what they do. And why starting my journey, like my career journey early in 2019, I applied for over 200 job applications. If you've applied for this amount of application, kindly just reply yes in the chat box. So over 200 job applications, kept track of every job application. Out of these, just around less than 1%, around 2 to 5 persons got back to me, taking me to the next stage for interview. And then I got one job which later blew off. And that was the struggle then. But then what do I learn that really changed everything? I've moved from the intern stage to working with top companies, top authors, and top people across the globe, like Robin Sharma, who is one of the top 3 renowned world career coach in the globe, and with the United Nations Director, Richard Monan, and a lot of people out there in the space just because of what I do. So what do employer want to see in you? I will start from this. Every employer want to see value. Value. And when I mean value, it means we are not bringing you to the team so as you can be who you want to be. We are bringing you to the company to solve problems. So you should start seeing your application as a means to add value to any organization out there. Once you can do this, you'll be able to sell yourself the more. You'll be able to position yourself the more, and then you get access to lots and lots of opportunities. Please, kindly mute yourself if you are not muted. So you get access to lots and lots of opportunities. I will cite an example. Please, where's the background noise coming from? Okay, I will cite an example. Recently, I was called up. Okay, before working with Robin Sharma, they had around almost 1 million leads, email lead, and then they were having issues with that because they could only message around 350. And then the CEO of Mikkel reached out. I reached out to him through an entrepreneurship platform, and it was like, can you get this done? I was like, this is as simple and very easy to get done. And within 6 months, that problem was fixed, and that was it. So that was how I got to work with Robin, and then the current company which I'm working with England, one of the head of growth at Skype UK. And then they had issues because they're just trying to renovate their product and then build a SaaS product even from scratch. And then the founder saw my pitch, which is a 3-liner statement, and then he reached out. That is how we connected. So I needed to start thinking about what value you can provide, because until you can attribute yourself to providing value, that is when your career is just starting. So you are a UI designer, that's good, but then what value can you provide? Now you need to Sell yourself. I will tell you this, no one is going to sell you. Applying for jobs online in various applications isn't going to do it. Let me tell you the secret. Okay, I run an organization, I employ people. Now, what founders like myself do out there is before they commence hiring, they put in application to attract candidates. And then let's say they're going to hire in the next 6 months or 8 months, then they put in to attract candidates and they reach out to qualified candidates with a long interview process. That's why you don't hear from most of these people. Okay, I hope you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, kindly type I can in the chat box. Am I audible? Awesome, awesome. So what founders need, as I said earlier, is that you're able to provide value. So I was giving the structure on how the employment industry works. So I'm a founder and I'm currently building Personal Rise. And in the future, I'm looking at hiring a growth marketer. What I did around last month was to put out an application for a growth marketer, and I had tons of application, picking the best, interview few, and then schedule to hire by August. And these people are waiting, although I try to bridge in that gap. But this is how most jobs out there looks like today. So you need to break the divide, to get into those founders, and then to know where these founders are, to know how to reach out to them, and then how to offer value to them. Once you can do this, your job search journey is going to be easy. And what you'll be doing right now during these 3 months of this program is breaking the divide, knowing how to get this done, how to reach out to founders, how to reach out to recruiters, how to reach out to hiring managers, knowing where they are, and then how to get your employment faster. And through a strategy which I provide, within the space of 2 weeks to 1 month, people are getting jobs. Let me tell you, you will see there are companies are letting people go, but the truth is companies are hiring everywhere. Companies are hiring everywhere. So you are not able to get a job because there are some bosses you've not taken. It's as simple as that. So let's go. What do you actually need to get a job? The first thing you need to get a job is skill. And for everyone that is in this call, in this program today, you all have one or more skills. And this is the criteria, because we're looking at a 3-month incubation section, not for you to get skill, but for you to get a job, a very good paying job. So it's a skill. And then the next thing which you need is you need a portfolio. I was consulting with 1, 2, 3 students around last month. And then while speaking to him, he told me, Emmanuel, I'm not ready to get a job yet because I'm still learning. I just smiled and I said, you will never stop learning. You will never feel that urge, that satisfaction to go out there to get a job because you will still be learning. Few months after now, I will clock 3 years in my marketing career, yet I'm still learning. Yes, I'm very paid, one of highly paid in the country currently, because I don't work in Nigerian companies anymore. I work with international companies, but then I'm still learning. I have tons of value to offer any company I am with today, but then I'm still learning. So I want you to debunk that, okay, you need to learn enough or gather a lot of skill before you can apply. No. With the head knowledge you have, with the little things you can do, you can position yourself, sell yourself in order for you to get a job. So I need you to get to that understanding that it is time to get a job, okay? So that being said, the next thing which you need after that realization is a portfolio. A portfolio is simply a collection of your work. We have a developer right now. I think around the classes are developers, marketers, and then product designers. Now, what you need, it's not something bogus. You understand? You just need 2 to 4 of different work combined together in one place, and that will make your portfolio. To get an entry-level role, it's just that simple. So you are a product designer, and okay, let me ask, I think, let me see, you said you're a product designer. Have you done any design work previously? Let's hear from you. Okay, I can hear. So have you done any design work previously? Let me see if you can hear me. Do you have?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many works have you done so far?
Okay, is it
That relates to design, UI, UX specifically? So how many have you done?
personal portfolio projects or paid projects?
Okay, on paid and paid altogether. Can you give an estimate?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Like my network is
Okay.
more than should I say up to 10.
Thanks, that is enough to get a job. I do tell people that you do not need lots of projects to get a job. You just need one single very good project, and that's all. Yeah, you're coding, you know React, just build a simple website using React, and then you'll be amazed in how the world will open to you. Let me say this. When preparation meets opportunity, the impossible becomes possible. And this is the saying, and this is why I do tell people. I think we are going out of time. So let's go to this. So after getting a portfolio, what's the next thing you need? You need to create a resume. Now, I want to give all of you assignments. I want you to collate all your work together in one place if you haven't done this. All your works, collate it to one place. I can see Muyiwa sharing is by Beyonce link, and then also Olumide, awesome. So collect all your work in one place. This is the first thing. So once you have this, we'll be moving next week about talking about resume, on how to make a killer resume. And then I will talk briefly into this. One major reason I find out why companies don't reach out to most people is because their resume is not good enough. Your resume is not good enough. It doesn't communicate how magnificent, it doesn't communicate your skill and everything. So you need to ask yourself, am I really doing the right thing? I think around last year, this time last year, I interviewed Rushita, who is currently the lead recruiter for Microsoft India. And then she was speaking about how to create an irresistible resume. And one thing I would love to point out is, I want you to know that your resume is your sales document. So you need to ask yourself, look at your resume as a recruiter, and then ask yourself, if I am the employer right now, and I'm looking at this resume called mine, am I going to call the person up for an interview? Does the resume communicate what he or she or what I am doing? So you can send this to a friend who, just like, let's say a random friend who doesn't know you are a product designer or a programmer. Then you ask the person, like, will you call me up if you have a programming job? It's as simple as that if you're a developer. Now, your resume is your sales document. You are not there in that stand during your job application submission to speak to the employer about why you are the best choice for that role. So the document representing you in that scenario is called your resume. In Nigeria, it is called your CV. In the US, in Canada, and all over, it's called resume. And also, one other thing I've seen out there while reviewing hundreds of thousands of resumes over the last 2 years is that entry-level resumes are more than one page. Let me say this. Employers know that you do not have all the skill required. They do not expect you to have managed people, to have done bogus projects with hundreds of thousands of dollars, to have programmed a website that is used by hundreds of thousands of users. Hope you understand. So what they're expecting is just a very simple, a one-pager, a one-page resume. So let your resume be one page. And then I'll move on to the next. So if you have more than 1 page resume, I want you to reduce it to a 1 page. So next week, we'll be talking about how to create a resume. And then we'll be having an extensive 30-minute section. Ronke is going to communicate that to you very soon. Okay, and then after having a resume, the next thing you need to go out there and then apply for jobs you are qualified for. I told you apply for 200 jobs. And the problem was I applied for every jobs I saw on the internet. And this really drained me because job search is draining, it's exhausting. It's a full-time job on its own. So until you realize this, there is no going back. So now in your job application, you only apply for jobs you are qualified for. If you are an entry level with no experience, do not apply for managerial role, do not apply for mid-level role, do not apply for 0 to 2 years of experience and ensure you take all the boxes. What I do advise, I took a survey around last year among hiring managers and recruiters in fan companies and startups, and I had about 300 people respond, and 70% said, ensure you hit at least 70% of the minimum qualifications for every job before applying. It's as simple as that. So after a job application, the next thing is interview. I don't know how many people have gotten to an interview, but then you need to prepare for an interview. You need to understand what problem the company is facing. You need to understand what is the company values. You need to understand what they are recruiting you to that role for, and then you need to understand how to sell yourself. Because when you understand all this, that is when you can position yourself as a solution. Companies are hiring you because they want solution to their problem. We'll be talking extensively on this in few weeks time and gradual process. And then the last thing you need to do is for you to go get a job and sign the offer. Let me say this, for every job you get, ensure you ask for contracts. Do not start working, do not do anything except there is a contract between you and the employer, because that is your legal documents. If you are being sued, that is where that it is through that document that the employer will sue you. If you are suing the employer, it's through that document. So if there's no legal document, this is what happened. I had various complaints recently from people who did not sign contract, and one thing is they got fired. You just wake up in the morning and then you just see that you are off the communication group, you're fired and all. So ensure there is a legal document, okay? And with this, I would love to round up by saying, you need to take your job search very serious as a full-time job. In the process of job search, you spend less in doing work and you spend more in applying for job. And I hope we're going to work through this amazing journey together. So I'll be taking 1-2 questions. Ensure your question is straight to the point and in 1 minute. Okay. So do you have any question? If you have any question, do well to raise your hand or just unmute yourself and talk.